Okay, what we have here is our Wicker bill extension kit. This one is actually made for the Z28 spoiler and also the regular 2014-15 SS spoiler that you could get. Your very first step is to tape off the spoiler on the back edge so you can make some marks, and also to protect your painted spoiler. You don't want to scratch it up when you go to mount this. So I just tape it off with blue tape, and that protects everything. Your next point is, or your next step is to find the center location of the spoiler in the wicker extension. And what I do, I just measure from corner to corner and make a mark that's the same measurement, which I came up with 32 on this Z28 one, and then I found the center of those two marks, and then I marked it, as you can see. And then on the wicker extension itself, I just found the center of these two slots, and then that's the center of the actual extension. And then the next step will be to drill the nut certs, and I'll show you how to do that next. Okay, so the next step, we're going to just tape this down so it doesn't move on us. We're going to line up these two center marks on each other, and then the drop part of this will be flush with the top of the spoiler. You just line all those edges up. And I put some packing tape on here to hold it, because it seems to stretch and work a little bit nicer. Any tape would do though. Okay, so you got the middle tape down, and that'll keep it from moving. Double check your center. And then now you're going to just trace out these slots onto the tape that you put in. This corner should line up with the top, just like it does here. That's the same measurement across. So just kind of eyeball that, hold that down, and then these are both flat too. Trace these out. Do that to the other side. Line that corner up again right here. Trace those out, and then you got all 6 slots traced out. And then we're going to do the drilling. Okay, so all the slots are marked. Now we just mark the center line of each one of those slots. You only need to do the top half of here. You don't need to do the whole slot. Try to be pretty accurate with this. Okay, now you take a tape measure and go down 1/4 inch from the top of that slot. That's your cross point where you're going to drill your hole. Do that on all 6. One 1/4 inch down from the top of the slot. So now you have your point where you're going to do your pilot hole. And then we're going to drill a 16th hole first for the pilot hole, and then a 3/8 hole. And that's what the nut cert will go into. Okay, so first step, we drill a 16th hole at the center point. And then the 3/8 hole. This one you need to be really careful to stay straight when you're doing it. Okay, so I peeled back the tape a little bit on each one of these so the nutsert doesn't pinch it in between. But what you're going to do is take the nutsert, should be one already attached to the tool. There's a hollow side and then there's the threaded side. You take the hollow side and put it up against the two washers that are on the tool. Flush that back edge up and then tighten this screw down until they're touching and everything's kind of snug. You're going to need two 7/16 inch open-end wrenches. You push the nutsert completely all the way in. So you're going to take your closed-in wrench and your thumb and hold it against the bolt. Take your open end in and turn this inside nut clockwise about 3 or 4 revolutions until that nutsert compresses. Feel that wrenches get pretty tight. I just kind of snug it up pretty good. Make sure it's compressed really good. And then take your wrench and back that nut off. And then take the tool out. And then you have your compressed nutsert in there. And you repeat that. So here you can see the nutsert's all compressed. You can see how it's crunched up. It does leave a slight dimple, but that gets covered by the wicker extension. And that'll be our next step, is to screw that on. Okay, and then our last step, we take the screws that are supplied with the washer and fasten the extension into the nutsert. I just kind of start them all. I don't get them tight yet, so you want to be able to adjust it around a little bit. But go ahead and put all 6 in. So this is the wicker at its lowest point. Kind of tighten it up. Again, this is on the Z28 spoiler. This one here is the one actually on the 1LE right now, which is the stock 1415 spoiler. This is at its highest point. So you can see there's a little bit of difference in the vertical height versus the Z28. This one's probably an inch or so lower than the Z28. I'll be bolting that on next week to show you guys. And then I'll readjust this and show you at the highest point too. So here's the wicker fully extended all the way up. So it's very similar to the way the SS spoiler is. They're almost identical shapes, except the Z28 has a little bit more height than it. That's the complete install.